How do? How are you? Are you good? Are you well? Have you had a cracking week? Because I hope that you have. Boy, I've not been on, have I? So, Sunday night, or Sunday rather, I had to take down a section of wall, which was very successful, but it did knacker my legs up quite a fair bit, and I was quite exhausted. So, I've been taking a bit of a respite. But yeah, so apologies for that. But I'm back now, and we're going to go straight into it with some more Pillars of Eternity, because we're on Act 2 now. Ooh, we're just about on the outskirts of Defiance Bay. It's been a while since we've played Pillars of Eternity for various reasons. But yes, we're back, and it's all here. Act 2, that's the one, isn't it? Look, 18 hours worth. Could have sworn we spent more in that game, on the game than that, but there we go. Let's go. Oh yes, we've got a new traveller with us as well, who we've not seen a lot of yet. Oh. But anyway, I hope you are well, and I hope you're enjoying the other streams. I really was torn to play XCOM today, but I thought, no, I need to put some more time into Pillars, because damn it, we're going to get this game done. We are definitely going to stick with Pillars of Eternity. I've been wanting to play this for a long time on stream, so yeah, we're going to stick with this. But I'm having fun with XCOM, and I'm having great fun with SmackDown, honestly, which will hopefully return tomorrow evening. But yeah, I'm having fun with those games right now. Yeah, things are good. But anyway, I hope you're well. It's Thursday now. Bin day tomorrow for a lot of us. Well, our family anyway. Is bin day tomorrow for you? Is it? Have you got your bins out? Get your bins out. Well, not now. Keep on watching the stream light, but get your bins out. There we go. Oh, yes, I forget it's not WASD to move around. But yes, we're at Defiance Bay, aren't we? And I did actually look at some of the old... So, we're not going to sneak, because it should be a friendly town. There's a cat. Is it going to talk? Can we interact with the cat? No, we can't. We can't interact with anything just yet. Oh, but we can take some of that. Oh,
The city of Defiance, crown jewel of the Deerwood, if you ask the locals, anyway.
Oh, people want to speak. You want to speak to me? What do you want to say then? Sagani draws up beside you, her fox following at her heels, and takes a seat next to you. Well, we're not really sitting down here, but okay, fine.
Even if you are putting one over on me, it's nice to have a hunting party again.
Oh yes, that's right, because we did tell her that she's a watcher, but we're a watcher, but she doesn't believe us. And we have actually said that we know where they are. They are over a cliff, which isn't a good thing. Sounds like you've been gone from home for... You've been... Teeth and mouth engaged. There we go. Sounds like you've been gone from home a long time.
5 years for me. Must be 30-something for Ichimak.
Hearing its name, the fox looks up. How is the search going?
It's been a long hunt. A long time away from my family. Before, I'd crossed the tundra of Nasitok following caribou herds. I didn't want to leave Kalu and our children, but I was eager to visit lands my people rarely do. But 5 years without finding him. It's like 2 hours of necking. I'm ready to be done with it.
Does she mean necking as in an arrow to a bow, or necking as in the British parlance, which is a bit of the old kissing on the neck action? Love bites. To be fair, 2 hours of either is quite tiring, and so it probably is applicable to both. Um, why do you have to find Persok?
Soul recovery is an old village tradition. We call it the Tarnek Elite Sok. Once in a generation, we seek the soul of a much respected and long dead village elder. We tell him what's changed in the village, how people remember him. The only other Tarnek Elite Sok during my lifetime happened when I was a girl, not long after Persok died. We feasted on blubber and fermented milk for a week, and we honored the chosen huntress as a hero.
Made me laugh just then because we seek the soul of the long dead village elder and we tell him what's going on in the village. Can't you just rest in peace? The village elder's like, oh, really? Haven't I done my time? You really got to keep on bothering me.
Then she left, and we returned to our duties. We still sang her name to the skies during festival season, but we otherwise didn't speak of her.
I could do the ancient old. What game is that on the Dreamcast? Ah, Shenmue. I see. I'm sure your village still remembers you, Sagani. Yeah. Or what happened to her? Maybe open it up a bit. What happened to her? I don't think she ever returned. It happens that way sometimes. She folds her arms, her expression sober. I'm sure your village still remembers you, Sagani. Your kindness say so, but I'm not fragile that I need my name chanted in the meeting halls.
It's not being forgotten by my village that troubles me. But sometimes I wonder how my husband and children remember me, if they think of me often.
Husband and children, you're like a child yourself. Of course they do. They must. I would like to believe it, and yet sometimes days go by and I realize that they have not crossed my thoughts. Such days are rare, but they happen. She looks away, tugging at the scrap of her quiver. It shames me to think of it, but more than that, it scares me.
Still, there's no point in dwelling on it. More often I find myself wondering whether Persok will remember us. You claim to see souls. What do you think? Do you remember your past lives?
No, not clearly. I figured. Most people don't anyway. I suppose that's why I'm supposed to remind Persok of what he left behind in our village. What would you tell him about your village?
Masuk is probably much the same as it was 100 years ago. We live between tundra and frozen forests, and the land takes as much as it gives. But our hardships bring us together. And the elders truly unite us. They keep the stories of past generations, and they guide us from season to season, through good years and lean.
Itumak brushes against her hip, and she scratches his head. Recently there's been a lot of good years. My aunts say we've had fewer clashes with neighbouring villages thanks to the hunting territories that Persok helped establish. In bad years we rely on trade with the merchants that pass our shores. We exchange walrus tusks and seal pelts for grains that last us the hard winters. Persok brokered a lot of those agreements too. She holds up the bear figurine. He got this from one of the Almawa ships that used to trade with us. It sounds like Persok did a lot for your people.
That's what I'm supposed to remind him.
Sounds like you're on a hunt of your own, though. You feeling the thrill of the chase, or ready for this to be over? I enjoy the adventure. Every day brings something new. Refreshing indeed, she smiles. She rises and stretches, looking round. We've got darkness on our side. Shall we move on? I'd like to talk some more. What's on your mind? Oh, do we do the whole lot? Why not? We've got a fair bit of time now. But I'm going to have to read. I want to know about your homeland. Narsitak? She rubs her nose with one broad finger. It's a big island in the middle of the Deadfire Archipelago, just off the coast of the White that Wends. Tundra mostly, with a few snow-covered forests in the warmer parts. Most of us live in fairly small villages by standards here anyway. Mine is Masuk. Tell me more about Masuk. We're a tundra village. To outsiders' eyes, we're probably not much different from the others around us, but our elders have stories that go back hundreds of years. Epic hunts, battles with neighbouring villages, sojourns across the sea. We share these stories too. Who lives there? Mostly Enotanic, like me. Enotanic, like me? People here call us boreal dwarves. Migratory clans of Glanfell from the White that Wends sometimes spend the colder seasons on Nasdaq. But we don't seem too many other foreigners who can tolerate the elements. She pats a weather-bronzed arm. Those of us born in Nasdaq like to say we have a hardy layer of seal skin just beneath our flesh. Blubber. What's Nasdaq like? She shrugs. Cold, but not as cold as the White that Wends. That's it. The White that Wends. Imagine that. I live in the White that Wends. The few kith who visit Nasdaq find it sparse, but there's plenty to sustain a village if you know where to look. She ticks the items off on her calloused fingers. We get hides and meat from caribou, seals and small whales, bone too, which makes fine bows and arrowheads. You're a jolly one, aren't you? Community's important to us. We survive or perish together, so everything we do, every week, long hunt, every wall we build is for the village. Just want to check that you can still hear me. Yes, it's working fine. I get anxious about that. That's all. She nods. You know what? Let's move on. We'll talk more later. Because there's a right rowdy thing going on around here. Oh, no. These animancers have brought divine wrath upon us all. And yet the Duke and his toadies in the Crucible Knights do nothing. Can we allow these atrocities to continue unchecked?
I shall.
No! Rowan. Can I speak to him first? Justicular. We defended Defiance Bay back in Duke Hadrick's day. Okay. We're the greatest fighting force in all the Deerwood. Okay. He's talking, so let's just interrupt. Oh, okay. Rowan's arms are crossed, and his mouth is set in a grim frown as he watches the gathered protesters. He looks ready for a fight. He sizes you up. New in town, eh? You picked an interesting time to visit Defiance Bay. All these refugees fleeing the frontier and finding the legacies no better here. It's the Animancers, Magran Scorcham, and they nest in this city like rats. I think I said that sentence wrong. It's the Animancers, Magran Scorcham, and they nest in this city like rats. You mark my words, though, us dozens are gonna put a stop to it. What are you doing out here? He gestures at the crowd, which buzzes with angry chatter. Trying to get folk to see reason. We're in the midst of a crisis, and instead of purging the nefarious forces from our city, the Duke is granting animancers dangerous liberties. What do you know about animancy? It's the study and manipulation of essence, which any sane person will tell you is the purview of the gods. The Adirans at least had the sense to outlaw it, which is the only good thing you can say about them. It's not like magic, chanting, or the soul readings those ciphers do. It's been around since ancient Ingwithan times, which is why you'll see animancers tinkering with old Ingwithan artifacts. Kana raises a fist to cough discreetly into it. Half truth, Saul. But he's an enthusiastic performer, I'll give you that. He shakes his head. Trouble is, the animancers got no idea what half those artifacts actually do. Not that they'll admit it. Our emphatic friend is correct about one thing at least. Tell me about the dozens. He taps his chest. We're an organisation of interested citizens who want to free Defiance Bay from the dangerous influence of animancers and the tyranny of the aristocrats who support them. We also consider ourselves a militia of sorts, seeing as the Crucible Knights are little more than a flock of preening nobles in training these days. Is it militia or militia? I've been told it's both on different occasions. But anyway, it's one of them. Just like a militia, the dozens, except for the training and the discipline and the code of honor. His eyes gleam. And we're always looking to expand. The more people see things our way, the better for the state of the country. You have any interest in hearing more? Stop by Admeth's Den sometimes. The Expedition Hall. A lot of freethinkers in there can set straight all the nonsense the nobles and animancers want you to believe. Might even be some paid work there for motivated types. I'd like to know more about Defiance Bay. This is the capital of the Free Palatinate of the Deerwood. Palatinate? Is there another word to that, maybe? Palatinate of the Deerwood. We started out as the capital of an Adiran colony, but we booted the Flaccid Scepter from these lands 150 years ago. Flaccid Scepter. Sounds like a cop. These days, we're a major port receiving trade and visitors from all over the world. But we, some of us anyway, strive to hold on to the pioneering spirit that earned us our freedom a century and a half ago. The city is divided into 5 districts: Cop Lane, First Fires, Ondra's Gift, Brackenbury, and Heritage Hill. He ticks each one off on a calloused finger. Hey, I've got someone who does that and all. I mean, in the party, the woman who we just spoke to, obviously. Tell me about Copper Lane. This here is Copper Lane. I wish you had a voice. This here is Copper Lane. He taps a scuffed boot on the cobblestones. It's primarily a market district, but you've also got the Expedition Hall directly north of here, where you can join treks into the wilds. That's also where my fellow dozens martyrs and I tend to meet up with other concerned citizens. He points to a long domed building west and north of your position. And that's the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Eerie place if you ask me, but they've got the biggest library in the Deerwood. Kana laughs. Eerie indeed. It might be less so if more kith stepped inside. Perhaps we ought to visit Kilmabunot and see just what mysteries are revealed. Tell me about Brackenbury. A noise of disgust rattles in his throat. The nobility that didn't sail back to Adir stayed there. Most of the families there traced their lineage back to old imperial times. Other than a lot of has-been nobility, you've got Hadrit House, where Lady Webb and her spies operate, and Brackenbury Sanitarium, the main cesspit of animancy in the city. He spits on the cobblestones. Ting. There's not a bucket there, but let's imagine there was. Tell me about first fires. I've got a really itchy nose right now. That's where the revolution started, hence the name. These days it's overrun with politicians and panderers, but we'll take it back someday. That's where you'll find the Ducal Palace, the Valian Embassy, and the Crucible Keep. Shakes his head. The Crucible Knights were the original freedom fighters in Defiance Bay, but now they're just strutting peacocks with their eyes on fancy titles and their heads up their asses. There's an old temple of Wodica there too. We keep it real nice for her, he winks. Tell me about Ondra's gift. Got the name because it was a wetland that was drained back in the Imperial days. Now it's a seedy district populated by sailors, common folk, and more than a few thugs. But it's a fun place too, if you know where to look. He winks and overs you. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Look for a place called the Salty Mast when you're there. Sounds like a cock. Other than it's mostly warehouses and abandoned homes. Other than that, it's mostly warehouses and abandoned homes. I missed the important word there. But yes, Salty Mast sounds like a cock. Tell me about Heritage Hill. He shivers. It used to be one of the more prestigious districts of the city. Heroes of the Revolution claimed plots up there, next to an ancient and wooden tower in the city cemetery. Had the best views in Defiance Bay. Attracts the richer types these days. Lot of animancy patrons. He spits again. He glances at the crowd and lowers his voice. You wouldn't have heard, but something happened over there a couple of months ago. The authorities sealed it off and they're keeping their mouths shut. But mark my words, animancy's to blame. Never mind, let's talk about something else. What do you want to know? Nothing, I think you've told me everything. Fare thee well, Rowan. Although I wish you had a voice. I saw an Antimancer's experiment make a little girl kill herself. The Duke says he's addressing the Animancer problem, but nothing ever changes. Man isn't meant to tinker with souls. Apart from our souls. I'll bet Animancy is to blame for every problem in the city. Get it, arseholes. I saw an Antimancer, yeah, so did the other chap. The Duke says it, yeah, so did the other chap. They're just saying the same things now, aren't they? Yes, they are. Okay. Stay out of the catacombs. They're more dangerous than usual lately. I don't know what voice that was. Responsible for the safety of every person in this city. That cat really does think... Cat. Okay, let's just take a look around like Limp Bizkit. And we're at... Where's the dead end? Or can we keep on going? Yes, we're at dead end. Okay. And we can't go there either. We can't walk in the grass. Because this is a posh city, don't you know? Okay. Oh, Ida wants to talk as well now, does he? It might be a very heavy talky episode. This looks like it's the Goose and Fox. I was going to say a pub. It looks like it branches off into a few different places. Oh, look at it all. So what's that? Marketplace. That's the Den Expedition Hall. Road map. Lumdala. Scriveners. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries. That might be interesting to check out. First Fires. The Catacombs, of course, and Brackenbury. And we've got a massive little stadium in the middle there. But I've got a thing here, so I just want to check out that everything's okay. British Warriors left. Are we okay with things? You finished in 4 hours, that's fine then. Let's go to the pub. Because it looks like dawn has broken on us. What on earth do you look like? Oh, we've got some souls, have we? Oh, man, this is going to be a heavy dialogue place. Let's speak to the actress first. You'll find all sorts. Everyone's a philosopher here. Lively place, isn't it? Come on then, let's talk to Irishti Tungsten, who looks like bloody Blanca. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Reach out for the soul. You see a fire burning slowly on the side of a winding road, unmanned. There seem to be no fuel, no wood or oil for it to consume, no hay or twigs. Despite this, it roars, crackles, wails in the wind. It takes you a moment, but you begin to notice a figure in the flames. It's shaking hands cradle a young face, molten red tears marring the skin the colour of coal. The boy cowers, flame coating him as he holds his knees to his chest. In the distance, a man approaches, faceless. He extends a hand to the frightened child, who considers it warily before taking it. The flames die down, leaving his limbs and settling on his head like obedient pets. All tears dried. They walk together, fire and death, hand in hand. Curious. And yet devastating as well. As you near your vibrant, reach out. You see a wizard playing. Is that the top? No, it's not. Oh yes, it is the top, sorry. You see a wizard playing illusions in a town square, fingers plucking colour and sound from the air and weaving scenes of beauty and fright. A crowd of onlookers gasps and cheers, enthralled with the display, all but one boy standing off to the side, mouth agape. Green eyes are pale with wonder, vision after vision playing out before him, and something inside the boy clicks. Without warning, he bolts, disappearing into the crowd, pushing and shoving desperately. The mage finishes his show soon after, a giant silver dragon descending through the crowd, and 1,000 stars exploding into nothingness. Collecting coins, he walks around the clapping crowd, bowing and nodding at each as he passes. Collecting coins, he walks around the clapping crowd, bowing and nodding at each as he passes, until a small sack is dropped into his hands. The boy stands for a moment before him, small and still, and begs the wizard to apprentice him. He glances at the hefty bag, weighing it, and the boy carefully. Finally, he nods and flicks gently at the bag, which disappears. The boy grins. "How'd you do that?" he asks, but the illusionist merely winks. And the vulture. Let's reach out for him. You see a hand, curled and bruised, stalked to the floor with a bent metal spike. Blood covers the floor and drips from the furnishings and walls. This man looks up from the body he is crouched over to survey the carnage he caused to the family in whose house he now skulks. 4 bodies total. A woman, 2 young men, and a girl lie blindfolded on the ground. Their legs are bound, and both hands are attached to the floor with spikes. He has lifted the woman's blindfold and is currently doing something to her eyes. Lovely. He pulls back a small blade and covers the eyes again, gently patting the blindfold. He stands and looks around, seemingly satisfied with his handiwork. Suddenly, his breath quickens, hearing someone approach the door to the room. He bounces in place, excitement almost overwhelming him, then rushes to the back of the room, concealing himself in the shadows. From his vantage, he sees the bodies are perfectly arranged, each one facing the door, welcoming the man of the house back, arms outstretched as if in an embrace. The door opens as he slowly pulls another spike from his belt, the tip of his tongue playing across his teeth in anticipation. So we've got a murdering bastard. It's a shame that we can't kill him. Even though it might not have been him, it might have been someone else. But there we go. His past life.
Gods keep you.
Hello, Bishop. The man behind the bar is nearly the size of an Aomawa. A handle protrudes from his back. Okay. And his face is set into a stoic frown. He gives you a small nod. Here for a drink? There's a tiny pewter cup in front of him. He turns it in one broad hand, but doesn't drink from it. Tell me about yourself. Name's Bishop. Used to be a scholar of Barath. Now I run the Goose and Fox and keep the regulars in line. He shifts and you see a warhammer strapped to his back. That's why there's a handle. That makes sense now. What more is there to tell? How do you go from religion to taverns? The journey isn't as long as you'd think. It started with Hollerborn. And with this, he takes a black bottle from under the bar and fills the pewter cup. It was my sister's son. He takes a drink. At the beginning of Wadwin's legacy, he was one of the first. I never expected there would be so many after him. Tragedy is part of the cycle, but it's followed by rebirth. Yet every year more parents were grieving for their Hollerborn children, and the gods were silent. So you lost your faith. He leans forward, crossing his arms on the bar. Barath promises rebirth. Cycles. But the only cycle I found was this one. He taps the bar. Have a drink, have another, and another, until I couldn't remember how I got home. Wake up, come back. I finally woke up one day to see my family had packed up and left. For all I know, they'd left days before and I just hadn't noticed. But they were gone, so I came here. I've cleaned up since then. Not that I've found my answers. He tosses the cup back. I've just stopped asking questions. This is a lively place. Just to go off on a tangent there. Well, this is a lively place after that horrific story. It was founded in the early days of Dewoodian independence by a travelling scholar named Errol of Levi. At least I hope it's pronounced Levi. It might be pronounced Levy. Oh, my nose. Wow. Look, it's going red because it's so itchy. It's like something's flared up. Ah. Oh. He wanted a place where kith of all background could gather and hash out the issues facing their new country. Oh man, I might have to pause in a second and have a proper go at it. In fact, I might just do that. Let me just finish this. He rests his elbows on the polished wood of the bar. It didn't take long for the place to fill up. Brackenbury aristocrats argued with dock workers from... Sorry, that's terrible. Let me reread that whole thing, because I'm getting sidetracked. He rests his elbows on the polished wood of the bar. It didn't take long for the place to fill up. Brackenbury aristocrats argued with dock workers from the Gift, while soldiers wrangled with politicians. Deridians have never been known to turn down an argument. He takes a sip from the tiny cup. Excuse me once. Oh, surprised I've still got a nose left. Just check my audio is still working. I am unmuted. We are all good. Right, let's continue. What happened next? Soon Kith were coming from the farms and settlements too. He waves at the door, as if expecting a crowd to bustle in. This place got even more popular with the Valian sailors than the Salty Mast. And that was the problem. He drains his cup. No matter what people say about fair-mindedness and civil debate, there's only so much people will tolerate. Errol found himself the wrong side of an argument with the wrong Thane, and when he disappeared a few days later, some said it was the work of that Thane. He shrugs, spreading his hands over the bar as he surveys the room. But Errol knew which way the wind was blowing. If you ask me, he skipped town, hid out somewhere, hoping for rational minds to prevail in Defiance Bay. He cracks a wry grin. If only you could see it now. We'll leave it there for now, so I'm just going to say goodbye. So that's Bishop. Oh, okay, we've got another soul fella here. Lupitz Silvarum. My god, it's been a talky one, hasn't it? As you near it, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from his past call out to you. Blah, blah, blah. Reach out for the soul. You see an impressive gathering of wild Orlans in ceremonial dress, shaded by a copse of ancient oaks. Underneath the largest oak stands two young Orlans, hands clasped, eyes clear, as they promise to care for and love one another in the joining of their clans. An older Orlan steps towards them to speak, beard seeming to sprout from directly underneath his eyes, and declares their union complete. The jubilant Orlan clans carry the newly wedded couple away to their tent with snorts of laughter and crude jokes, leaving the older Orlan to sit alone beneath the age-old oak. He sighs, observing the scene in the distance. He whispers a quiet benediction, glad for their gladness, and melts into the trees without another word. He has seen enough happiness for one day. Oh, well, that's a nice, happy one. We don't normally get happy memories, do we? Let's commoner there. You hear this guy? Mad, I tell you. Nothing loosens tongues than a good pint. Are you here for some words of wisdom too? Let's look at that in a second. We've got a mercenary over here. It's a good place to unwind between jobs. Sometimes they even find new ones. That miserable bastard. Cainra, a woman, sits by herself, spinning something on the table in front of her and watching it with furious intensity. It's about the size of a coin, and it wobbles over a crack in the wood with a metallic rattle. She snatches it up with one hand and slams a half-empty cup down on the table with the other. This is not a good time. You look like you could use another drink. I'll get there. She takes a long drink from her glass, just trying to calm down and trying to talk myself out of something foolish. Something foolish? She says nothing for a few moments, as if hoping you'll leave. At last, Cainra looks up at you, and lamplight falls across her face. A purpling bruise is blossoming along her cheekbone. There's something I need to give to my fiancé, Pernisk. Only he doesn't seem to go anywhere without his new friends, and they're not exactly pleasant company. Tell me about these new friends. They come into our house with their dead eyes and their black teeth. I'm not a fool, I know what it means. Pernisk makes me leave when they show up, but it's obvious what they come to do. Last time they came, I told them to get out. Let them have their fun somewhere in the gift, but not under my roof. She scowls and then winces, her fingertips gently probing her bruise. Sveth changes you, I guess. The Pernisk The Pernisk I knew wouldn't have squashed a spider. I never thought he'd... She trails off, still feeling the swollen, discoloured flesh. I thought Sveth just made people lay around not doing much. Kenra shrugs. I don't really know. It seems better than believing he's always been this way. Maybe I could go talk to him. Her hand rests on the table and she clenches it into a white-knuckled fist. There's nothing more to say to him. We're finished. I just want to give this back to him and have a clean break. She opens her hand and a ring clatters onto the table. It was his grandmother's. Even after this, I don't have the heart to sell it off. But if I go back there myself, I know what'll happen. I'll lose my temper and I'll probably wind up with another one of these. She points to a bruise. But I've heard you're trustworthy. If you give this back to him, he'll know we're done. I'll take this ring to Pernisk then. And I might give him a what for my own. She looks at you and nods. The house is just north of here. Just, please don't hurt him. As furious as I am, I don't want that on my conscience. Aww. If you wish. You know what, actually, I need to do that, don't I? So that you can actually see quest lines now. Although I am a little bit weird. Oh, and am I actually... I think I might be cutting something off there. I might have to do some jangling with that. Yes, I might have to do some jangling with that. Because it is cutting off this black, you can see there. Not quite perfect, but enough. Okay. But at least now you can see this side and see quests pop up. Which is nice. Okay. So, we're going to sort out Kenra. Yeah, not yet. I'll be back. Let's have a look at the old picture. A dragon is outlined in charcoal pencil. The thick jagged lines and the faint smell of sulphur suggest that the artist completed this sketch in a hurry. Cliff Dragon, White Marsh, 2685. Oh, can we actually take and that's thievery. Anything else? No, but let's go have a look up there. Ooh. It's quite a large place, isn't it? Oh, Brad Ferris, you've got a soul. Let's have a look at you. You see a mud-soaked clearing, rain falling to the ground in large drops. This man is lying on his back in the muck, his hands holding open the maw of an enormous stelga that stands over him. Stelga? Stelgaea? Stelga? I'm going to say Stelga with a silent A. Its front paws on his chest. The heavy rain falls over them, playing counterpoint to the grunts made by the opponents. Dead Stelga litter the ground around them, and the man's body shows signs of a difficult battle. His clothing is torn, hanging in scraps in some places. Bites and scratches cover his arms, and legs. A huge gash cuts across his forehead, blood and water mixing as they run down his face and drip into the mud. It takes all the man's effort to keep the beast's jaws from clamping down. The man looks around wildly until his gaze finally lands on a large axe lying barely within arm's reach behind his head, the rain slowly covering it with grime and muddy water. He looks at the Stelga and then back at his axe, grim determination on his face. His arms are shaking and it seems he will not be able to hold the beast back for much longer. He takes a deep breath and wraps his right hand around the Stelga's bottom jaw, then lets go with his left hand, freeing the top of his head. The Stelga's mouth snaps shut on the right hand as his left shoots out above his head and grabs the handle of his axe. The Stelga grinds its teeth and pulls back, trying to free itself from his grip, blood dripping from its mouth onto his face. With a grunt that quickly becomes a bellow of pain, the man pulls his right hand down, bringing the beast's head closer to him, swinging the axe around as he does. The blade of the weapon pierces the Stelga's neck, and it yelps, its mouth popping open as it tries to step backward off the man. Before his mangled hand can lose its grip, the man pulls and twists as hard as he can, trying to get the beast on the ground using the Stelga's resistance to pull himself into a sitting position. He brings the axe down on its neck again and again, and one final time as its head and his hand simultaneously come free. The head flies from his grip as he thrusts his hand behind his back to brace himself as he falls. As his hand hits the ground and his full weight lands on it, a second bellow of pain erupts from his mouth. Breathing heavily, he brings his now mangled hand up to assess the damage. The little finger is gone, lost somewhere in the mud. The two fingers next to it are twisted, broken and torn, barely attached to his hand by small bits of flesh. He sighs, grabbing both dangling fingers with his left hand. He grits his teeth and pulls. Oh, lovely. Lovely stuff. What else is there? We've got another merchant and another actor. There's a lot of actors knocking around. I suppose there is that whole amphitheatre, isn't there? Which makes sense. A dwarf and a northern debates philosophy on the other side of the curtain. Oh, private room for you. Okay, I think we've scouted out everything here. Woiningren. Oh, it's another soul. Okay, let's do this quickly. You see a half-consumed ale slosh. You see a half-consumed ale slosh its way. It needs a comma there. You see a half-consumed ale slosh its way across the distance to his mouth, spilling across the stains of food long past. Grey's eyes glance at the brawl across the room, gaining fervour as the fight extends through the room. Another ale, he murmurs to the bartender, downing his drink and turning towards the wall. He pulls a picture from his pocket, a painting of a young child, all brown hair and green eyes, and holds it above a candle. It does not burn. Ales later, he begins to sing. The bar a mess of broken chairs and wounded pride, and they all listen for a moment before continuing their drinks. Sveff conversations. His ache is felt through the room. His sad story reminds them of their sad stories. When he finishes singing, a silence hangs in the air, palpable among the smoke and the sweat and the yeasty smell of the beer-infused exhalation. He is the first to break the silence, ordering a round of ale for the room. The general din of conversation sparks and resumes, but the mirth now is tempered with far-off memories and thoughts. Okay, cool. What are you? This Stelga's pelt is thick with dust and moss. The plaque below, the beast reads, Maiden Falls 2682. Or 2682. Her grandfather in Holland has arrived, seeking employment. She was nearly set upon by... Oh, what was that? She was nearly set upon by brigands on the road, but your patrols intervened. Oh, good. Lovely. I don't think we can do anything upstairs, because I think they're just all rooms, aren't they? And then I think we're going to go to that house and we'll wrap up a nice, quick little quest. Who are you? Don't be. Good. Ooh, we've got a key. What's that? Two-tone
Hail, traveller.
An old man relaxes with his feet propped on the table. Patches of dark brown skin peek out from under a full mane of blue-green hair. He and the old woman with him exchange laughs and comments with the trio at a nearby table, and he spins a dagger in his hand. His hazel eyes watch you. You look like you've seen a night or two in the wilds. Joining us for a drink? Who are all of you? The name's Two-Tone Weaksel. The lady next to me is Key. We've had our fun with the expeditions, but we were hoping to enjoy a little peace and quiet for the next few weeks anyway. A man at the next table nods at you. I'm Dreadshot Daden. This is Herdy and Ilfer. We were part of separate expedition teams, but we both suffered losses and decided to band together. He takes several items off his fingers. Are they calloused by any chance? Beasts, barbarians, beerwicks. Oh, no, that's not how it's said. It's beerwick, isn't it? Beerwicks? It's a dangerous time to be an adventurer, but a prosperous one too. At the next table, Daedon raises his glass. And here's to many more prosperous journeys. Is there something else you wanted? Nah. Excuse me. Dear me, this is a talky one. Oh. It's a good job I didn't do this a few weeks ago when I was very, very ill. The older woman nods at you, a cup of wine in hand and a scepter across her lap. Your Majesty. Ilfa nods at you with a pint in one hand and a mace slung over her shoulder. Dreadshot. Aiden's busy filling a spur of a small round. Filling, it's not. It's a single L there, Martin. I'm itching for some target practice. And a burly Omawa raises a hand in greeting. Right, these are just all rooms, right? And it'll be... Ooh, that's a lockpick. I'm tempted. Although, if I do it, is it thievery? Let's do a save. Act 2, Scene 1. Why not get all wanky over it? Let's see if we can.
A simple test.
And it's not thievery. Oh yes. Oh, lockpicks. Take them all. Yes. Is that the only one in here? Yes. Excuse me. Oh, don't you start. My dog's growling outside. Although what at, I have no idea because it's black as night outside. So, because it is night, and that's why. Let's continue on. Oh, who are you? Oh, another one. Jesus. You see a group of people standing on a clear patch of earth, surrounded by several motionless bodies. On the ground in the middle of the group is a small figure, curled up to protect itself from the kicking feet of the people standing around it. This woman is there, apart from the group, holding an enormous sword. She leans on it, using it almost like a crutch, hunched over and breathing heavily. She stares at the people and grunts, pulling herself upright and lifting the sword from the ground. She draws in a large breath, leans into a run, and quickly closes the distance between herself and the group. A blood-chilling howl suddenly explodes from her. The mob freezes mid-kick and stares at the terrifying bull of a woman now charging it. She jumps at the last second, bending slightly, turning herself into a projectile, flying into the middle of the people assaulting the figure on the ground. Everyone topples as she flies into them. She hits the ground beyond them, rolling, leaping back up, and turns to face them. She plants both of her feet and lifts her sword, surveying the field. Suddenly she spins on her heel, swinging her sword with savage grace, cutting down the nearest of the assailants. Letting herself get pulled into the momentum of the spin, she brings her sword around, blade sideways, into the head of a would-be opponent. The bottom of the hilt shatters his temple, and he crumples to the ground at her feet. She looks up rage-filled eyes daring the remaining two men to approach. After a quick sideways glance at each other, they turn heel and run. One briefly looks back over his shoulder, ensuring she isn't following him. She slowly lets out the breath she had been holding and walks over to help the figure, still huddled on the ground. Okay. Oh, and you're another one. 1 second. Oh, this is a very voice-heavy one. Just want to check actually you can still hear me, because for some reason the sound's gone. You see a man standing on a dock. Sailors, soldiers and prostitutes swarm around him, but he's watching the ship disappearing over the horizon. He should be glad his men didn't take his life along with his ship, but failure is almost as bad a death for a Valian. I think that should be as bad as death, but failure is almost as bad as death for a Valian. And the gods only know he hadn't fared any better in his family's mercantile business. It's almost a relief to see that last herald of his failure sail into the distance, sparing him the need to go back to his father and admit defeat once again. Besides, with sharp wits and an eye for an opportunity, there's always a chance for a comeback. He pours a flask from his hip and takes a long drink. There will be time for that later. He adjusts the flap on his eye patch and finds the tower of the brothel. He plots a new course for the evening, a grin on his face. Dirty bastard. Right. Can I pick that lock as well, if you don't mind? Let's just save it, just to be on the safe side, shall we? We'll replace that one. Yes. That was just before it, actually. Let's cancel that, and let's just do it as a fresh one. Just in case. Act 2. Chest. There, cool, we're good.
That's settled.
Oh, that is thievery. Boo.
I'm here.
Well, at least we got some XP for doing that lockpick. Oh, actually, I've just noticed my health. My health is actually taking a bit of a battering, hasn't it? Oh, the Bailey has been constructed. Wow, we've been in here for a while then. Because that was 4 hours ago earlier. But then again, I've been reading people's souls. The pages of these books are crisp and fragrant, with the salt of a sea breeze. The most unfortunate tale of Favia and Bernard, a Valian tragedy. Well, you know what, I'm not going to obviously read that. But if you want to read it, by all means you can. There you go. Enjoy that. I think that's the only thing, isn't it? Is there anything else in here? Oh, people are... So many souls and so little time. Let's open that lock at least, and it's thievery, but at least we've still got XP for it. Oh, let's hope. Is it a long one? Yes, well, it's not too bad actually. You see a grin slide across the face of a man and onto the face of a woman, younger still than he. She moves closer in the tallow light, short and slow, tasting the anticipation on his tongue, the desire on hers. The candle gutters, sending yellow-brown light sneaking across his multifaceted eyes. She sits back, now all too aware of his luminescent horns and dust-stamped blue skin. His otherness leaves her breathless, but from fascination or horror you cannot tell. He reaches across a hand, trailing the line of her draw. Sibilant whispers, snaking through the air, tempting, cajoling. Something in her breaks, and his grin slides back as he extends his tongue to lick the curve of her throat, pausing a hair's breadth from her flesh. The thing we spoke of, your husband. I shouldn't. He'd be ruined. A faint protest. The man wags his forefinger at her, tusking playfully, tracing a line with the finger down the length of her torso, causing her to writhe. He stops it just short. She gasps. No fair. That's cheating, she pouts, childlike. Not if we make the rules. The man winks, and he resumes his stroke. Dirty bastard. Okay. 2 more to go, and then that hopefully is going to be it for today. You see a firm hand scribing notes from an ancient, surprisingly sturdy-looking tome. Script precise, picture small but clear. The monk runs his fingers across the paper lightly, page after page, searching for something. The script is ancient, almost illegible, but he perseveres, scrawling stacks and sheaves of notes, transcribing the book into something more comprehensible. Suddenly he starts scribbling hastily, eyes wild, pen a-blur across the newly ink-splattered page. With a start, he pushes out from the desk and closes the tome, sending waves of dust to coast about the room, and grins wildly. He hurries to the exit, notes piled under his arm, and a new adventure on his mind. It was a bit pointless, really, wasn't it, that one? Lexicana McCraig. Wow, as you feel, a vibrant history. That looks different. You see a man praying soundlessly on the ground, lips moving to some ancient and unknowable hymn. Lying in his hands, his sword sputters into blinding white light, banishing the darkness around him instantly to lurk in corners and shelves. He opens his eyes slowly, continuing his silent prayer as he adjusts to the new light. His face tight with concentration, he stands and begins to move deliberately towards an enormous iron door, strange symbols inscribed upon its rusted surface. His prayer gets louder, gains substance as he gets closer. Blue eyes burn with fervour as the glowing tip of the sword touches the centre of the door and slides through. White light spreads across its surface, symbols flaring into life as the paladin chants. A gentle tone sounds, ringing through the ancient structure, and the door begins to open. The symbols have disappeared, along with the rust, and the paladin steps through into places unknown, bearing a light he is only now beginning to understand. That's an interesting one. I wonder if we are going to see such a place in the future. Okay, that's enough of that. It's been streamed for over an hour already, and I've just done nothing but talk. So apologies, it is a talky episode. I might just highlight that as well. Wow, that's a hell of a laugh. Yes, all that talking has really started to affect me. Getting a very dry throat now. Commoner, yeah. Ida does still want to talk to me, but I might try and save that. Maybe we could do it down for a quick look, right back out, say we found nothing. What is this? Dalton's your friend, not mine. Oh, who's this fella? Copplay Marketplace. Everything you could ever want to buy. Does it? Does it though? Oh, I'm not doing you today. Please move along. I have a long list to get through. Ooh, lovely. I think what we're actually going to do is we're going to go and find Pernisk. It's that house there. Okay, fine. It's literally just there. We're going to wrap up that quest quickly. Was it that one? It must have been that one then. And then I'm tempted to call it a day, I know. I know it's short stream. Oh, hello. We've got a load of people here. We've got a load of addicts. Where's Pernisk, though? But I've got a feeling I might have to... Feel free to make yourself comfortable down here. Top floors off limits. Is it really? Oh god, let's just take... What's here? Svef. So it is some kind of a drug. We'll take it with us though, because it might come in useful. A couple of crude beds have been improvised from an assortment of tattered blankets and pillows. Dribbles of some dark liquid stain the fabric. Lovely. That'll be the Svef. Pernisk, where is Pernisk? Don't start any trouble. Hey mate. It's not up to me, is it? I'm guessing that's Pernisk. Yep. Well, we'll come to you after I've actually scouted all around and seen the lay of the land. Someone has peeled the labels from these bottles. They're stuffed with dark gumky pulp that gives off a pungent odour. Let's use the lock.
That's settled.
That's still thievery at the minute, so we won't do that just yet. But we'll come back and do that in a minute. Oh, the guard holds up a hand as you approach. You can turn right back around. The lower floors are all yours, but nobody goes upstairs. What's up there? The guard shakes his head. What do you think? The bedroom? All that? Private things, I'm saying. You don't go creeping through other people's rooms. I do. I'm going to do... Fine, I'll be going. I'm not... Because if I get into a fight with him, the others are going to follow and it might ruin the whole thing. So, let's just go and speak to Pernisk, shall we?
Good day, stranger.
The man before you flashes a toothy and rather unpleasant grin. Well now, a new face. Welcome, friend. Name's Pernisk, and this, he gestures to the room around you, is my humble abode and place of business. I need to put on a voice for him, actually. I don't know how long it's going to be, though, because he might be dead in a minute. And I do hope you're in here to do some business. He glances at a nearby guard. What is your business exactly? If you have to ask, Pernisk smirks. Let's be clear, you go running to the guards, you're going to regret stepping foot in this place. In fact, I'd put even odds on your regretting every decision you made in your life to leave you standing in front of me right now. His face shivers with a quick, unreadable emotion. But you stay smart, and I figure we can end up very good friends. You can ask my previous customers. They'll vouch for my supply, he grins. I didn't say, because that sentence he just said didn't really make a lot of sense to me, but there we go. I keep it simple. If you have the coin, I have the Svev. Svev? Vef? Svef? Zef? You're free to make use of the premises, so long as you don't do anything stupid and you don't go to tangling with the other customers now. Pernisk claps his hands together. What can I get you? Kainra asked me to give you this. Penis takes the ring and turns it around his fingers. Nice. What's this for? You don't recognise the wedding band you gave Kainra? Penis laughs. Oh yeah, I see now. She's making a statement, is she? Good riddance to her then. Sorry I ever spent the coin to begin with. Now, is that all? Seems a difficult thing to forget giving your grandmother's ring to someone. Maybe she's just not worth remembering, eh? Penny snorts. While you're playing lapdog for her and all, why don't you go back and tell her to keep clear of here? She seemed to care for you. Why are you doing this? Plenty of stars in the sky. Tell her to go set up in the salty mast if she's feeling lonely. Penny shrugs. Me and her are done. How dare you hit your own fiancé? How can you live with yourself? She was asking for it, Bernice scowls. Sort of like you right now. Maybe you ought to quit digging around in affairs that don't concern you. Me, I've got business to get back to. He points. Door's that way. Something's not right around. Something's not right here, and I don't plan on leaving until I find out what's going on. Bernice's eyes narrow. Then you won't be leaving it all, friend. I was tired of wearing this face anyhow. What? He raises his voice. Guards, to me. Wearing this face? What the hell? Oh, hello. Who the hell are you? Nirid. We're also a little bit surrounded right now. But that's fine. Let's go and knock you straight down, shall we? Because that wasn't him. It's a shame I should have rested, but there we go. These things have happened. Either you are going to take on this fella for me. You're at the rear, so you need to do something special. What do you do? You're wounding. Okay, what do I do? I might just say just go and attack for now. At least it'll make some space. Matey boy, you need to get the Holy Radiance set up straight away. That leaves you. Arcane Assault, I suppose, on both of you. Why not? And that leaves Kana. Kana's currently chanting. Do I leave him to chant? Let's leave him to chant. Okay. That was fairly successful. Sadly, I am in a very bad position. Where is... You're right there, so I'm tempted to use something strong. So let's get you out of here. You also come to the side, so that you can do one of your massive fireball things. Or is it you that you do the fireball? Oh, it's you that do the fireball. Where are you? Where are you? You're right there. Oh, that's fine. Fireball. Let's just try and minimize the damage here. Oh, that was good. Did he just heal himself? You're injured right now. Oh, you are having a hard time of it, so let's try and pull you out. Kana, where are you? You're barely injured. You're barely injured. Oh god, you're in the corner. What the hell are you doing in the corner? You need to put another spell up. Shock damage on... Yep. On there, maybe. Ida? Where are you, Ida? You're there. You go for him. I need to focus on you, I think. I think that's everyone accounted for. Apart from Adolf, actually, because you've just done that massive powerball. Powerball? Fireball? Oh, yeah, let's do that. There. Oh, you got me a little there. Probably got a lot of us. Whoa, you're doing very, very poorly right now. Okay, so you need some protection. Yep, let's get some protection going on here. How are you doing? You're near death. Where am I? Where am I? I'm right there, yeah? I can't quite see where I am at because it looks like I'm being masked. Let's do some combusting wounds here as well. Oh wow, okay, he's barely injured, so he did just heal himself. Okay, so that's me, that's Ida. Ida, you kind of need to go for him straight away. Let's see if we can both take it. Oh, good one. Okay, how are we doing? You are barely alive, so why don't you come out the way if you can? Wow, things are happening. I don't know what. Oh, here we go though. Nurid, stop. Nurid staggers back, holding a bloody hand in front of him. I give up. Just leave and I'll go peacefully, alright? Too late. Yeah, you're too late here. Right, one's down. She's down as well. Who the hell are you? You're an addict. We've got some mercs that are barely injured, so guys, you need to... launch yourself into that mercenary. Ida, it's just you get stuck in. Let's get some more protection going on. Is that the best one to do here? I think that is possibly the best thing to do right here for you. Kana, where the hell are you, Kana? You still in the corner? No, you're right there. Focus on him for a bit. Let's do some missiles, shall we? Because there's quite a few people going around there. Oh, okay. Having a clue what's going on right here, or who's what. Okay, so we've got a mercenary going on. Ida, you also get the mercenary if you don't mind. I think there's only one mercenary left, honestly. Kana, go for... Oh, it looks like there might be two, actually. Go for that one. And let's continue on. Okay. Looks like things have slowed down now. Let's get another spell. Let's do... I kind of want increase accuracy and damage. May as well do that. Let's do that for all of us still alive. Yeah, that was fine. Ida. Combusting wounds again, I think. Or no, let's not. Let's just... Where are you, Ida? You're right there. Just shoot him. Who are you? That's you. Who are you? That's Ida. So who's that? Oh, that's Itamak. Oh, of course, yeah, because the girl's gone down, so they're both down at the minute. Let's carry on for a bit. Okay, pause. Let's come round the rear for him. And just go here. Yep, that's fine. It looks like it's all just down to one right now. So let's just all go for him. Oh, blimey, that was a bit tasty. The girl didn't do too well in that fight, but that's because she was kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place, quite frankly. Oh, look at all that. Nereid's Grimoire. Oh, is it? I forgot this. I searched it the other day. It's not Grimoire, is it? It's Grimoire. It is Grimoire. We've got maces, we've got swords, we've got wands, shields, and a fine robe and some coifs. Take all that stuff. Oh, look at you. Padded caps and loads and load of coin. Oh, and you've got a little bit here too. Take all of it.
Of course.
So it turns out that the man... It wasn't the man after all. This book of Valiant Love Sonnets has a dedication on the first page to my beloved Kainra. So it wasn't him. So I wonder if Kainra is upstairs. Oh, that's still thievery. Okay, pots are crusted shut with some unidentifiable gunk, probably that drug. That's still thievery. Let's go upstairs because I've got a feeling that this fella's going to be upstairs, like locked up, isn't he? And that would be quite a nice way to end finishing up on a good thing. Oh, no, we've got some more.
Way.
Oh, we've got plenty more. Okay, we've got 3. Which ain't ideal. Where are you? Wounding shot on the big one, because he does look big. Oh, this is going to be difficult because... Yeah, let's not do that just yet. Let's just get you, and let's just do a zap first. You're doing okay, so let's just engage him with a knockdown. Why don't you go charging in one of the others? And that leaves Matey Boy with the Holy Radiance. Makes sense. Good. Okay, and now they're all together. Let's get some of this action going on. Yeah, just kind of shoot. Same with you, actually. You can shoot that one on the end too. As for me, you'll see. Just engage. Whoa, where did that one come from? Okay, fine. We need combustible wounds, I think. Here. So let people get burned. Take out the big one. Ida. Oh, it didn't register, did it? Oh, it's doing it, it's fine. And you... Might and resolve. Oh, no, I don't want to do that after all. What's that one? Projection. Fortifies the health of allies. Yes, that's quite a good area of effect as well, so let's do that. Continue on. Is there only 2 mercenaries left? There are. He's near death. You're badly injured. Let's carry on then. Oh, good. Yep, go for it. Very nice.
Indeed.
Oh, look at these fancy weapons. Fine things, and a fine shield as well, and a key. Okay, I dare say that's probably key to a lock. I was going to have a look at the table. Scroll of paralysis. The white that wins. I am coming, indeed. Okay, let's... I'm tempted to get some Seacon just in case there's any traps around here. Everyone, please. Everyone in sneak mode, please.
Keep an eye out.
Okay, let's take all the stuff. It appears as though someone rummaged through this uneven row of books in a hurry. These jars are chipped and cracked, as if knocked to the ground and set back in place. And a book of Adiran dialects. Oh, here we go. AO. Like Eora. This is a good book, actually. Alduin is pronounced Oldween. Oldween. Dernisk is Dernish. And Yester. Sedge. This should be book 1. The very first thing that we bloody are given. God, this is a good book. We don't need flavor text. Just give us things like that says, here's how you say. Shit. Okay, let's carry on then. I think we've got everything in that place. We are looking for signs. Oh, there's a look. There's a door. I bet you that's locked. What's that? Light of Dawn. Riadsaran. I think it's Riadsaran. Morality Play. Part 1. Oh, how fun. We'll take that and we will act that out on our own leisure. There's nothing to interact with around here, is there? Okay, we're still okay health-wise. There he is. Is he okay? Pernisk, a man lies bound and bloodied on the floor before you. His face is a tapestry of bruises, and blood is spattered across several corners of the room. The man cringes and sobs as you approach. Gods, please, please no more. I can't take any more. I'm not here to hurt you. The man pauses, gazing up at you. You're not... Oh, praise Barath. You're not one of his men, are you? He glances nervously behind you. He shakes his head. Please, I don't know who you are, but my name is Pernisk. This is my house, and you have to help me. Then who is that downstairs? An imposter, some wizard named Nirid. He came into my house, tied me up in here, tortured me, and now he and his men are eating my food, breaking my things, selling Svev inside my own house. He blinks. He just turned up all of a sudden. Pernisk looks away, unable to meet your gaze. I may have hung on to a tiny portion of my supplier's share, but I needed that money. What exactly happened? You sent over the wizard Nirid, the man downstairs, Pernisk shudders, to make up the lost copper, I guess, and to hurt me while he was at it. It feels like it's been days. He's already taken care of. Pernisk stares at you. I can't believe this nightmare is finally over. He grins weakly, then seems to remember something. You have no idea what you've done for me, but... He looks up at you and away again. I need to find my love, Kainra. Only, after whatever Nirid put her through, I'm afraid she won't give me a chance to explain. But she might listen to you. Please, she must be somewhere in Copper Lane. It's the only home she's known. And please don't tell her about the Svev. About what I do. I could make it worth your while. A discount, maybe. Okay, I can give someone a mic and grab him and force him. Kainra sent me here in the first place. She did? Billy smiles brightly. That woman helped save my life without realising it. Please bring her home and tell her that everything is back to normal. I'll go talk to her. I can't thank you enough, truly. I've missed my poor Kainra. Can I talk to you again to tell you... No, I can't. Oh, let's... Someone has gathered sheets and towels into a makeshift bed. The rumpled fabric is stiff with blood and unwashed sweat. And one side of the overturned vase is splotched with crimson. Okay, let's go. We're going to wrap this quest up because it's just gone 11:05 for me, and then that'll be an end. And at least we've done something today rather than just reading. I mean, there was another thing, wasn't it? Is that there? But I'm not going to do that. Oh, I saw that. Oh, an addict died. Anyone else? Let's go and tell her that her fella is still a drug dealer, but the person that hit you was actually a weird wizard impersonating him. I don't know who's got the ring now, though. I don't know if we picked it back up. There she is, Kainra. Kainra looks up at you. Kainra looks up at you as you approach. What happened with Pernisk? Did you give him the ring? Pernisk was being impersonated by a powerful wizard. However, the real Pernisk also deals Sveth, which is fair. The other is the lie. She covers her mouth with her hand, shocked. Pernisk? My Pernisk is a Sveth dealer? If I didn't know you for an honest man. She brings her fist down on the table, sloshing a drink. Damn it. How can I trust him after something like this? That he's lied to me for this long. She runs a hand through her hair and takes a deep breath. I should just be glad I found out about this before the wedding. He still loves you. Do you really want to give up on your future together? Perhaps you're right. If he's willing to give it up, we can work this out. Seems worthwhile to give him a chance in a way. Oh, and take this. She unclasps something from her neck. Picked it up from one of the merchants to help me stand firm in my decision. I'll be fine without it now. Unwavering resolve, yes. And people are back together, and people are hilariously laughing there. Pernisk and I have a lot to work through now. Excuse me one second. I forgot we finished the Bailey and we didn't set another thing up, did we? So let's do that quickly. Oh, we've got an action. Sunken ship off. The concerned would-be recipients of the cargo are discreetly inquiring about potential help. Their hope is to recover the shipments before the pirates learn the value of what they're taking. Rochester merchant ship was sunk by Adirian pirates off the east coast of Redcerus. Ah. So can I just give that to people? That might be cool. I didn't realise that they did that. Okay, let's build some stuff first then. Now here's the thing. What do we build here? There's walls or the library. That would be quite nice. Barracks would allow you to employ hirelings to defend your stronghold. Dungeons. Take prisoners during your travels. Oh. Right, so it's all about bonuses now, isn't it? Okay. cool inside. Okay, in the lab. Okay, that's quite cool. I am tempted to get the barracks. Yeah. Just because I think that would be quite useful to have. Okay, that's fine. Hirelings must build barracks. So can I assign that now then? No companions at the stronghold. Right, so I can't do that either. Okay. Interesting stuff, but there we go. Right, so we've done pretty well today. Let's form up. We've done a quest, at least, and we've done a hell of a lot of talking. Yeah, that was good. That was good. It's a shame there was so much talking and so many soul stuff going on. But it was good. Yeah. Fun times. Fun times. Let's save, shall we? I was going to do some crafting, actually. I never spoke about it, did I? Because I looked up some crafting recipes.
You have said you fought in the Saints' War.
It's a little bit late now.
For which side?
So I will save
The one that blew up my god.
the next one.
I
What are you
didn't mean
saying?
anything by it. I imagine a man with a head made of fire and light could be very convincing.
Funny thing about Dear Woodens. With all that fire and light, they just treated him like another authority figure.
What the hell was all that about? Let's just bring that chat window up again. Can I click? I'm just gonna bring that up just for a bit. Okay, they were just having a little chat between themselves. Fair enough. I'll stay out of it then. Right, but we're going to leave it at that. We've done some good stuff today. We've done some very good stuff. Let's just save it over Act 2 chest. Accept. And that is going to do is let's just double check that has definitely saved it, hasn't it? Yep, we're outside. Good. Good. 20 hours in. There we go. Well, there we go. We've done a quest, and we've done a hell of a lot of talking. But we're getting there. I feel we've done a little bit here, a little bit there. But yes, we'll get there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed back on the quest for Pillars of Eternity. I'm hoping I get to finish it by the end of the year. But who knows, it might even be like this time next year. That's even if I'm still streaming. Hopefully I'm still streaming. Hopefully everything still works. But yes, we'll see. But yes, I hope you're enjoying it. I'm planning to keep on finishing the story because obviously everyone needs to know the story and I want to know the story. Tomorrow, more SmackDown, continuation of Default Man. If we can, hopefully, if I'm not on though, life would have gotten in the way, which it's possible it happens. But yes, thank you very much for watching. Have a great evening, day, whatever. And it's Friday tomorrow, so I hope you have an excellent Friday to wrap up your week. And we'll see you on the next one. Best thing to do, honestly, if you're on Twitch right now and you're watching me, make sure you click the old follow. If you're watching on the YouTube on demand, click the old subscribe, and that way you know that it's always there and you can see, oh, I'll put up a video, I'll watch him. Or if you're watching on Twitch, it's like, oh, he's on, I can watch him. It's entirely up to you, of course, but these things are free to do, so I ask that you do it because that just helps me out. Thanks very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you on the next one, which hopefully is going to be tomorrow. Okay, but that'll do me. Alright, have a good one. See you. Bye bye.